So this is question 2, and we're dealing with AC circuits now. In an AC circuit, the RMS current and voltage are related to their peak values by the following two relations. IRMS is I peak divided by square root of 2, VRMS is V peak divided by square root of 2. I'm sure you have seen those before. A. Explain why RMS values are needed in AC electricity calculations but not in DC. Okay, there's a short answer, and if you wanted you could get into a whole lot of depth. I'm going to give you the short answer. RMS is an average which is used for changing, oops, I haven't drawn that very well, for alternating or changing signals or relationships. So AC electricity is continually changing and DC is not. So you need an RMS to give you an average for the change, and you don't need one for DC since it's constant. Okay, next question. This is a good one. Explain why the expressions connecting RMS and peak values for current and voltage include a factor of square root of 2. Okay, now I've for a long time been thinking it's related to the integral of a sine curve because the area under here is 2. There may be more of a relationship than I know, but you don't need to worry about that to be able to get this. What it actually is it starts from power. And remember, power is current times voltage. If you were to look at the power curve, because it's a product of two sine curves, the power curve doesn't go negative. It sort of centers around a point here, and it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. Because of that, oops, it starts at 0, so it goes up from there. Because of that, the average power, if this is the peak power, is going to be half the peak power. So the RMS, if you like, which is the power RMS, is the power peak just divided by 2. Because those upper peaks will just fit into the valleys really nicely and cancel it out and give you a nice straight power value. But remember, because power is current times voltage, this also is peak. This is your has to be PRMS. Sorry, I'm confused myself because it's the power. It's the current RMS times by the voltage RMS. So if we're going to okay, I got myself a little confused. Either way, we've arrived at this spot here where the peak power divided by 2 is the RMS, which is IRMS times VRMS. If we consider this from a slightly different angle, the peak power is the peak current times by the peak voltage. So if we take the left hand side, we've got I peak V peak over 2 equals IRMS VRMS, I'm running out of space, MS, and to kind of work out that conversion factor, or to keep the RMS values the same, we're going to have to do it like this. I peak divided by square root of 2 times by V peak divided by square root of 2 equals the same thing. So because the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 will give us that 2 on the bottom. And so you can see here that IRMS just works out to be I peak, and VRMS works out to be V peak divided by square root of 2. It seems like a trick. It really does. And you wonder, why can't you do that with power and current? But it comes back to this graph, albeit a little bit confused at the moment, of power. Remember, that's our 0 point there, of power being current times voltage. If you multiply the current curve times the voltage curve, so the alternating values, you get the alternating power value at the same frequency, but it has to be positive, because remember, when the current and voltage go negative, and they're multiplying to each other, that will produce a positive. That's why the power is always positive. And that's why you can do that with this, because remember, the peak power divided by 2 will give you that RMS power. Okay, so it's not always a square root of 2 thing to give you the RMS, with the power, it's divided by 2, the peak power divided by 2. But the IRMS times VRMS is equal to PRMS. Okay, but remember PRMS, so the PRMS is equal to the peak divided by 2. So that also means that that peak, which is the current peak times voltage peak, to equal that peak, the power peak, will also be divided by 2 to be the same to produce those things. And for this on the left hand side to work, I peak divided by square root of 2 times V peak divided by square root of 2. That's what it has to be, the square root of 2's. Okay? Tricky. Think about it, watch the video again, and then watch the video again.